In today's GMP Detox session, we want to talk about anything else related to the use of abbreviations. And I read very often that people are using GDP for good documentation practices. Basically, this is not correct. If we would look on the map that I have created for you, we have different areas within the pharmaceutical industry, and the official abbreviations are GLP. That stands for Good Laboratory Practices. That contains non-clinical studies, which goes directly into GCP, Good Clinical Practices, where we will get, hopefully at the end, a clinical study report. We do not explain each level in detail. GMP, very often used, named by the US FDA, CGMP for Current Good Manufacturing Practices. In Europe, or the WHO, the PICS is calling it GMP Good Manufacturing Practices, which is also including the production of APIs, active pharmaceutical ingredients. Below we have GDP, Good Distribution Practices. So this covers the distribution of medicinal products. Around of that, we also have GVP, Good Pharmacovigilance Practices. So these are the official Gs in that context. The WHO is also sometimes using GSP for good storage practices. To my knowledge, in the US or in Europe, we don't use that. So these are the official Gs. Good distribution practices have a totally different focus, like good documentation practices. So the abbreviation for good documentation practices should not be GDP. The WHO is using in one of their GDRM, Good Data and Records Management guidelines, they use the term GDocP. It's not an American rapper or something like that. It stands for Good Documentation Practices. I think that's the best abbreviation if you want to say good documentation practices, GDocP. But I would not use GDP because that definitely stands for Good Distribution Practices. Thanks so much.